If you've been looking for a super simple strategy to take you from where you are today to a life of financial freedom and passive income in the future, then this is the video you've been looking for. We're going to talk about the 3 steps to go from where you are today to over $3 million of property owned completely outright and $100,000 per year of passive income through simply buying 2 quality investment properties in the next 5 years.
Now, when I was at the beginning of my property investment journey, there was so many get rich quick schemes out there. There was so many people telling me to pay me $10,000 and I'll get you financially free in the next 5 years, and just none of this sat well with me, and I felt as though there must be a different way. I'm not looking to get rich quick. I'm not looking for a million properties. I just want to set myself and my family up with a great quality investment property portfolio that's going to give us choices in the freedom to live the life of our dreams.
So instead of going out there and buying 10 properties in the next 10 years and taking on way too much risk and way too much debt and stressing myself out and completely missing the next 10 years of my life, Simon and I, with the help of Ryan from On Property, came up with the 2 properties, the financial freedom strategy. Now in this strategy, we accepted reality and we said it is going to be scary. We are going to have to take on some risk and some debt. It is going to take time and there is going to be hard work associated with the journey. But at the end of the journey and the light at the end of the tunnel will be $3 million worth of property owned outright and an incredible passive income stream for life.
So the first step of the accumulation phase is to go out there and buy your first investment property. Now, making sure that this investment property aligns with the fundamentals that have historically resulted in great returns on your investment. Buying a house in a major metro market on at least 400 square meters of land as close to the city or as close to the water that you can possibly afford is a great place to start. So for today's example, we're going to focus in on the Melbourne market, where you can still buy an incredible house on land either in North Melbourne or West Melbourne for just $600,000 that rents for $500 per week.
So for some of you out there right now in a great financial position, then you might immediately move on to the next property, which Simon will explain in a moment. But for other people, it might actually take 2 years, 5 years, or even 10 years into the future to save the deposit or to feel comfortable to go out there and get your next one.
But regardless of which one of those investors you are, the second property in the 2 properties to financial freedom strategy looks very similar to the first one. We're going out there and spending $600,000 to get $500 per week in rent. But in this example, we'd love to see a larger land component, at least 500 square meters, but 600 would be amazing. And the reason we want a bigger block of land with a nice big flat backyard is so that we can go and build a granny flat in the backyard and rent it out separately.
So then we go out into that beautiful big backyard that the town planners ticked off and the builders ticked off when you bought the site, and then we spend $250K building a beautiful 2-bedroom granny flat, which could rent for between $300 and $400 a week. So in total, we've spent $600,000 on the second home and $250K on the granny flat, so $850 in total. And for that, we're getting $500 a week in rent for the house, $350 a week for the granny flat, or $850 a week in total, plus the incredible tax benefits that we get through our tax depreciation report on the granny flat.
So at the end of the accumulation phase, you should have $1.45 million worth of investment property, generating $1,450 per week in rent, or $72,500 per annum in cash flow. Now, what I love about the numbers in this portfolio is it's nice, even 5% yield, and to go out into a metro market and generate that 5% yield is absolutely incredible.
Now, once we've completed that accumulation or the buying phase and we've bought the properties that will make us financially free in the future, once we own them outright, we move into step 2. Now, the second step is the consolidation phase, and this is effectively where we move straight into paying off the debt as quickly as possible while still absolutely loving our lifestyle so that we can achieve financial freedom sooner.
Now, as you all know, if you were to just put those properties onto principal and interest, in 30 years from now, you would own those 2 investment properties completely debt-free. But if you're anything like me, 30 years is just too long, so how do we speed it up?
Now, the second little tip or trick to get there a little bit faster in your consolidation or paying off debt phase is just to pay a little bit extra each week. Now, imagine over the next 15 years, you simply contribute $200 a week, $100 per week off the debt of each property. Over the course of the first year, you've now paid $10,000 extra off your properties, but over a 15-year period, you've wiped $150K straight off the debt. This little bit extra adds up in a massive difference longer term term on your wealth position and the choices and freedom you'll have in your future. The next one is the positive cash flow. So on the day that you buy the property, the income's going to be as low as it's ever going to be and the debt's going to be as high as it's ever going to be. But over time, the income will go up and the debt will come down and you'll be left with positive income. So what Simon and I do is we take this positive income that we receive every week from our properties and pay it straight off the debt. On top of this beautiful brand new granny flat is going to get a tax depreciation report with your accountant, which on a $250K spend should result in $100 to $200 a week over the next 30 years in tax depreciation benefits if the government keep this beautiful gift open. Now, instead of spending that money, which is that 5 to 10 grand a year the government gives you back for being a property investor with brand new property in Australia each year, you can pay it straight off the debt when you receive it. Now, the last idea that Simon and I absolutely love is what we call a partner property, and this is the way that we've been able to pay off massive chunks of debt way faster than normal. Now, all we do with a partner property is simply go out there and buy one more house worth about 600K with the intent to hold it for the next 15 years. Now, if this 600K property goes up by an average of just 5% per annum for the next 15 years, it's going to go from a value of 600K today to $1.2 million in the future. Now, if in 15 years time you sell that property, you'll obviously pay some tax and you'll be left with a huge chunk of cash that you can use to pay off your own home or pay off a big chunk of the debt on your properties. And you'll be left with a huge amount of cash that you can use for whatever you want, but hopefully you use it to pay off the remaining debt on your 2 investment properties.
Now, whilst we haven't been able to fully pay off the debt on these investment properties for ourselves at this point in time, we've been able to accumulate the assets for ourselves and a whole bunch of amazing clients that are on the journey to financial freedom. But we can clearly see the light at the end of the tunnel and the lifestyle that we're going to be able to live in a few short years once we've been able to eliminate the debt on those investment properties and realize that passive income to live the life of our dreams. Now, I'm not trying to sugarcoat this, and there is a lot of discipline and sacrifice required in steps 1 and 2 of this strategy, which brings us to the third and final step, a life filled with freedom and choice to do what you want, with who you want, whenever you want.
Now, in this phase, this is where you really get to live your values and explore becoming your best self. You'll have the time to hang with the people you care about, to spend more time with family, to spend more time with friends, to travel more, to quit that job that you don't enjoy and to go out there and explore a new career or start that business, to look after yourself better, to look after the people you care about better, to spend your time serving others and volunteering and helping pull the next bunch of people around you up. Now, if you do absolutely nothing over the next 15 years after you've completed that first step and that $1.45 million worth of property grows in value by just 5% per annum, those 2 houses that you went out there and bought are going to be worth over $3 million in 15 years from today.
And one of the things we absolutely love about properties, it's not just the properties that will grow in value over time, but also the rental income. And history suggests that rents will actually keep up with the inflation rate, which has historically been at the 2.5% range. So if that $1,450 per week goes up by 2.5% per annum over the 15-year period, then by the time you get to the freedom/choices phase, you'll have $2,100 per week of cash flow, which equals $105,000 of gross passive income per year.
Now, whether you're out there thinking, yeah, 2 properties would be amazing and 100 grand a year of passive income for life would be a great start, or like so many people that we're working with, you want to go bigger than that 150, 300K per year. The beautiful thing about a strategy like this is for every extra house and granny flat you add, you're looking at about $50,000 per year of passive income in the future. Now, as an investor who started buying properties when I was doing IBM's Global Graduate Program in Sydney in 2011, earning 55 grand a year, is that I wish I could have stumbled across a video like this at that time. It only takes 2 properties to achieve everything you ever wanted out of your life, which is your base living costs being completely covered and you having financial security, financial peace, and financial freedom in your future. I think the thing I love about this strategy as someone who's gone out there with Simon and we've bought over 22 properties between us over the last 15 years and made so many mistakes is this is just such a simple, secure, and safe way to slowly work towards the future that you desire.
So regardless as to where you want to be in the future, starting with a simple, achievable strategy like this is an absolute great place to start, whether it's your first property or your 5th property. At the end of the day, we just want the absolute best for you and for everyone in your life. So thank you so much for listening. Until next time.
G'day guys, my name's Ben and I'm the director here at Pumped on Property, and I just want to say a massive thank you for watching our content today. Now, if you're thinking about buying an investment property in the next 3 to 12 months, then the team and I would love to offer you a one-on-one strategy session. In that session, we can talk about exactly where you are right now, where you'd like to be longer term, and we can deeply educate you on the Australian market. And then you can take that information and go and absolutely smash it on your own, or potentially become one of the small number of clients that we work with each week. To book your session, all you have to do is go to www.pumpedonproperty.com and click that book your free strategy session button. But either way, we wish you all the best on your journey as an investor to financial freedom.